the bravest leaders in history. Yes, they were real flesh and blood men who demonstrated the meaning of bravery and honor through their actions. From the classical antiquity to the modern era, great and courageous leaders like the immortal Spartan king Leonidas or the great Spanish Cid, Rodrigo de Viiz have demonstrated their bravery and quality by leading their troops from the front lines of enemy ranks. Fierce and great strategists who shaped known history, real men of steel, from whom we can learn about courage and honor. Join us in this brief look at some of the most notable and courageous leaders known in epic history. If you like epic stories based on real events and reliable sources, subscribe, like, comment and share this video. You are our reason for being, so please help us continue producing quality content for you. One of history's most iconic figures, Julius Caesar, was not only a brilliant strategist, but also a fearless warrior. Caesar was renowned for leading from the front, often being the first to charge into enemy lines. During the Siege of Alesia in 52 BC, Caesar demonstrated his exceptional leadership by personally rallying his troops against the fierce Gallic forces. His willingness to put himself in harm's way earned him immense respect and unwavering loyalty from his soldiers, so much that they would cross the Rubicon for him. This phrase, "cross the Rubicon," now synonymous with making irreversible decisions, originated from Caesar's daring move to march his army across the Rubicon River in 49 BC, defying the Roman Senate and sparking a civil war. Caesar's leadership wasn't just about military prowess, it was about inspiring total devotion from his men. Leonidas, the king of Sparta, became immortalized through his courageous last stand at the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC. Leading a small force of 300 Spartans and a few thousand allied Greeks, Leonidas faced the might of the Persian Empire. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Leonidas and his men fought to the death, embodying the Spartan creed of never surrendering. Their sacrifice allowed other Greek forces to regroup and eventually triumph over the Persians. Leonidas's bravery has transcended time, symbolizing the ultimate act of self-sacrifice and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. This is a fresco depicting a hunt scene at the tomb of Philip II at Aigai, the only known painting of Alexander made during his lifetime, 330 SBC. Alexander the Great, known for creating one of the largest empires in history by the age of 30, was not just a brilliant tactician, but also an exceptional warrior. His men revered him for leading from the front during his campaigns. Alexander's bravery came at a cost. He was wounded multiple times, including a severe slash to the head and thigh, and even took an arrow to the lung during the siege of the Malian city in 326 BC. Despite these injuries, Alexander's resilience and relentless pursuit of victory inspired his troops to follow him across deserts, mountains, and into battles where the odds were often stacked against them. Richard III, the last English king to die in battle, met his fate during the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. Known for his courage, Richard unhorsed Sir John Cheney, a renowned jousting champion, and killed Henry Tudor's standard-bearer. Despite being outnumbered, Richard fought valiantly to the end. Chroniclers noted that Richard died fighting manfully in the thickest press of his enemies. His death marked the end of the Plantagenet dynasty and the rise of the Tudors, altering the course of English history forever. Gustavus Adolphus of Sweden, often referred to as the father of modern warfare, revolutionized military tactics during the 30 Years' War. He was known for his innovative use of combined arms tactics, integrating infantry, cavalry, and artillery in ways that were ahead of his time. At the Battle of Lutzen in 1632, Gustavus Adolphus led his troops into battle wearing minimal armor, famously declaring, "The Lord God is my armor." Although he was killed in the battle, his legacy lived on through the military innovations that shaped European warfare for centuries. Rodrigo de Viiz, better known as El Cid, is one of Spain's most revered national heroes. A formidable warrior, El Cid was respected by both Christian and Muslim forces during the Reconquista. His most famous achievement was the conquest of Valencia in 1094, where he ruled as a quasi-independent prince until his death. El Cid's exploits were so legendary that even after his death, his body was reportedly mounted on his horse and led into battle, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies. His life and deeds have since been immortalized in Spanish literature and folklore. Pius of Epirus, from whom we get the term Pyrrhic victory, was known for his relentless and often costly military campaigns. In 289 BC, he faced the enemy commander Pantorcus in single combat. After an intense exchange of spears and swords, Pyrrhus was wounded, but managed to wound his opponent twice, forcing Pantorcus's bodyguards to carry him away. Despite his personal bravery and military skill, Pyrrhus's victories often came at such a high cost that they nearly led to his ruin, coining the term for any victory gained at too great a price. Hernand Cortez, the Spanish conquistador, is famous for his audacious conquest of the Aztec Empire. In 1519, upon arriving in the New World, Cortez ordered his men to burn their ships, ensuring that retreat was not an option. This bold move solidified his resolve and that of his men, who went on to overthrow the mighty Aztec Empire with only a small band of Spanish soldiers and numerous native allies. Cortez's daring leadership, though controversial, changed the course of history and marked the beginning of Spanish dominance in the Americas. Scipio Africanus is best known for defeating Hannibal at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC, effectively ending the Second Punic War. However, Scipio's valor was evident long before this victory. In 151 BC, he killed a Spanish chieftain in single combat, and later at the siege of Intercatia, he earned the Corona Muralis, a prestigious Roman military decoration awarded to the first man to breach the enemy's walls. Scipio's combination of strategic brilliance and personal bravery solidified his place as one of Rome's greatest generals. In 1683, as the Ottoman Empire besieged Vienna, John III Sobieski, the King of Poland, came to the city's aid with a force of 25,000 men. Sobieski personally led the famous cavalry charge of 18,000 troops, including 3,000 of the legendary winged hussars, which broke the Ottoman lines and saved Vienna. This decisive victory not only secured Vienna, but also marked a turning point in the war against the Ottomans, earning Sobieski the title. Sobieski's victory at Vienna was a defining moment in European history, halting the Ottoman advance into Europe. His bold leadership on the battlefield demonstrated his unwavering commitment to defending Christendom, a legacy that endures in Poland and across Europe to this day. Napoleon Bonaparte, perhaps the greatest military mind in history, was known for his unparalleled strategic brilliance and his extraordinary bravery on the battlefield. At the Battle of Toulon in 1793, Napoleon, then a young artillery officer, led the assault and suffered a bayonet wound to the thigh. His bravery didn't end there. During the Battle of Arlon in 1796, he rushed onto a dike under heavy fire, hoping to inspire his troops by showing that their commander was willing to risk his life alongside them. Napoleon's ability to inspire his men through both his tactical genius and personal courage allowed him to build an empire that, at its peak, spanned much of Europe. Though his empire eventually crumbled, Napoleon's legacy as a warrior leader remains unmatched. Admiral Horatio Nelson, one of Britain's greatest naval commanders, is best known for his heroic leadership at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Nelson's strategy was revolutionary. He split his fleet into two, sailing directly into the enemy's line to break it in two. His flagship, HMS Victory, led the charge, and though outnumbered, Nelson's daring plan secured a decisive victory for the British. Nelson's leadership came at a high personal cost. He was shot and mortally wounded during the battle. His final words, "Thank God I have done my duty," encapsulate his deep sense of responsibility and devotion to his country. Nelson's legacy lives on, symbolizing the bravery and tactical brilliance that defined his career. Before becoming the first president of the United States, George Washington was a formidable military leader who personally led his troops into battle. At the Battle of Monongahela in 1755, during the French and Indian War, Washington displayed extraordinary bravery. With several officers down, he took charge, rallying his men and re-establishing order amidst chaos. Incredibly, 2 horses were shot out from under him and 4 musket balls tore through his coat, yet Washington emerged unharmed. Washington's leadership and near-miraculous survival cemented his status as a hero among his men and a natural leader who would later guide the Continental Army to victory during the American Revolutionary War. Before he was the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt was a war hero, leading the famous Rough Riders during the Spanish-American War. Roosevelt's courage was evident during the Battle of Las Guasimas in 1898, where he narrowly avoided death as bullets splintered the trees around him. Later, at the Battle of San Juan Hill, Roosevelt led a dramatic uphill charge that proved decisive in the conflict. Roosevelt's bravery in battle earned him the Medal of Honor posthumously, and his leadership during the war propelled him into the national spotlight, setting the stage for his political career. Roosevelt's legacy as a fearless leader and a champion of American ideals endures to this day. King Albert I of Belgium is remembered as the Soldier King for his active role in leading his country's defense during World War I. When Germany invaded Belgium in 1914, Albert took command of the Belgian army and fought bravely at the front lines during the Battle of Liège. His presence on the battlefield inspired his troops, bolstering their morale in the face of overwhelming odds. Although Belgium ultimately fell to German forces, King Albert continued to lead his nation from the front, refusing to capitulate and embodying the spirit of resistance. His courage and determination made him a symbol of Belgian resilience during one of the darkest periods in the country's history. Throughout history, these leaders stood out not only for their tactical genius, but for their willingness to face danger head-on alongside the men they commanded. Their courage has inspired generations, and their legacies continue to teach us the true meaning of leadership. Now, it's your turn to participate. What do you think of these leaders? Do you think there are leaders with the same qualities today? Who did we leave off? Please leave your comments in the video and let us know from which country you are watching this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share, and let us know in the comments which leaders you think deserve to be featured in future episodes. I'll catch you in the next one.